All right, welcome back. Um, this is part of the gear check series that I'm doing. We'll talk today about cook sets, and when I say cook sets I mean pots and pans and that kind of stuff. We'll have a special series just for stoves. Stoves is a big can of worms, I think, so we'll leave that all by itself. So if you watch the previous gear check, you'll see that I'm just going through my gear, showing you what I have, what I use, what I prefer, what works best for certain types of trips, etc., etc. So let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is pretty basic utensils. How many of you guys have one of these? Spork, spoon, depends what you want to call it. These are handy in a way. They do make a good spoon. They do make an okay fork, and they definitely do not make a good knife. I think that's what that attempt at a saw blade of sorts. So these are not bad. They're very light. They're pretty good, but they're big. They're a little bulky, and they're cheap. So by all means, these are fine. I don't use these anymore. I'll tell you why in a second. Here's the big brother. Same thing, just much larger. It's good for stirring pots and, you know, picking up steaks and whatnot. But I don't know if you can see that, but they easily melt if you're using near any kind of flame or anything. So for that reason, I don't use this much. I bought it a while back. I have it in my kit. I don't use these guys much anymore. They're okay though. You know, if you want to use these, by all means, go for it. Next thing is this guy, titanium. It's a spork, and the nice thing about this, it's got a long handle. So it's good for when you're eating those mountain house meals. You can reach right deep in the bag. That's really the value of it. But the thing to remember about these though is that it is a spork, and the name spork kinda describes the quality, or the usefulness, I should say. So it's half a spoon, half a fork, and honestly, that's all it is. It's only half a spoon. It's not a good spoon. It's not a great fork. So I bought these because I used to do a lot of mountain house stuff, and I would just, you know, it was easy to reach into those deep bags. But since I don't do that so much anymore, this has become a little useless. I don't use that much. Very light though. But hard to, because it's so long, it's hard to fit it in certain places in your pack and whatnot. What else we got here? Okay, what else we got here? So going, you know, trying to stay light as possible. I then, you know, stepped into these guys. which again is a spork. It's small. It folds, so it fits nicely into your cup or whatever, you know, however you're packing your equipment. And it's very light. But getting back to it, it's still a spork. Half a spoon, half a fork, half the performance of a spoon, half the performance of a fork. Don't use that much anymore. So what am I using? I've come to like, well, after, you know, working with all that other stuff, one of the things that I actually much prefer is a titanium KFS kit. Even though, oops, stuck in the back. So, you know, it's one of these kits, knife, fork, spoon, KFS. The knife, you know, it's very light, extremely light, by the way. But the usefulness of this is I'm already carrying other knives, so yeah, it's okay. I do use it for you know, cutting steaks or, you know, things, but I don't really need to carry this. However, this I love. It's a real fork. It's real light, and it's very useful. So I don't know, to me it's a no-brainer. I'm used to using forks to eat. I want a full fork, and since it's light, it's not a problem. Same thing for the spoon. It's a real spoon. It doesn't, you know, drip half your soup through the fork parts, or whatever you're eating. So this is my favorite set. This is what I'm using right now. I do bring all three, even though I could possibly ditch this guy. You know, again, you know, this comes back to the type of tripping that I do. It's canoe. It's mostly canoe kayak stuff, so I can carry a little bit extra weight. I don't mind doing that. So, a lot of the stuff that I buy, I try. You know, there's a quality thing, but I do try a lot of stuff on Amazon. These I got from Amazon, and I love them. Absolutely love them. The quality is very good. Okay, so pot sets. I came a little bit from bushcraft background before I got into backcountry stuff. So, you know, I did a lot of base camp type camping. You know, where you would hike in a bit, usually some crown land or private property or something like that. But you could carry in a bit, and if, you know, you had to go back to the car, you could. Wasn't such a big deal. So I really started a lot of my cook sets in the stainless steel world. You know, starting from the very basic cup, glacier, you know, GSI glacier cup. Stainless steel is not light, but it takes a beating. This stuff is, you know, pretty much indestructible, and for that reason, it's great for that kind of base camp stuff. You don't have to worry about it. It's sturdy. It's super easy to clean and you know, cook with. You can use it. You can use this as a pot if you want to cook stuff on, right on the fire. It doesn't matter. This stuff's good, but it's not light, and that's the main reason I started stepping away from it. It was adding a little bit too much weight to my pack. So that kind of goes for trusty old Seagull stainless steel pot. These things are awesome. Super sturdy. Nice lid, very tough. They're probably okay to use for camp. Even you know, some backcountry stuff, but you got to carry it in. It's not light. It's stainless steel. So so I don't use this very much anymore. You know, I'm not 27 years old anymore. So those portages are, you know, easy to intermediate portages for me are like experts for 27-year-olds. So I try to keep it somewhat light, but you know, I still want some of my luxury. When I was looking to lighten up a little bit with my kit from stainless steel, I decided to go for a lighter stainless steel. This guy. This is a Snow Peak #1 pot. It's got the handle, it's got the bail, and it's got the lid and the spout. To me, when I was looking into this originally, this was the absolute best possible scenario, and to a certain degree I still agree with that. It's a nice size. I believe this is a 1 liter, maybe 1.1. So it's a really nice size to work with, and it's pretty good. You can put some, if you're, you know, baking bannock inside a pot, you know, you could actually put, it's because it's got the lip, you can put coals on top, all kinds of different options. Pretty good pot. These things are extremely loose and annoying. The bail doesn't always stay up, but if you needed to hang, you could, you know, figure out a way to tighten that up, because these things are too loose. They flop all over. For that reason, not a fan. It's lighter. It's about maybe half the weight of this Seagull pot, but still not the golden ticket as far as I'm concerned. So I started moving away to other options. One of my favorite kits, and I say kit, I don't really mean kit. There's one piece in here that I really like. The rest I don't care for whatsoever. This is a GSI Dualist backcountry kit. Comes with a seam sealed bag that you can use as a sink if you need to, for, you know, washing up or cleaning veggies or whatever it is you're doing. The pot comes with a handle, and you can see it's been, you know, charred a little bit. The lid itself has, you know, a spout for draining off your pasta, and you know, it's got a little tab. Silicone seal. The pot I love. This pot is awesome. I've used it a ton of times. You can see it's well weathered. What I really don't like with this kit, there we go. So here's the pot, and one of the nice things about this pot is that it's no stick. So I think it's an anodized aluminum, but you know, you cook in here, nothing really burns. You can easily clean it out, and it's very efficient. That's a 1.6 liter, I think, which is a nice size. So what I don't like with this is this stuff. It comes with bowls. Seems like a great idea to start with. Basically the idea is that, let's see if I can open this up here. Yeah, man. Why is that stuck? Okay. So it comes with 2 nesting bowls. They're plastic, which is part of why I don't like this. It comes with a lid. and it comes with like a neoprene kind of wrap. Comes with a neoprene kind of wrap around here with a sippy cup kind of spot. So you can grab your coffee or your whatever it is, your tea or whatever you're drinking. It's not too hot on your hands, and you don't spill it. In theory, it sounds really good. Nests nicely, and it comes with two, right? So it's a dualist for two people. Same configuration. And it comes with these sporks. You know how I feel about those. These guys suck. I love GSI products, but seriously, GSI, these things suck. Do something better than this. This is, you know, they accidentally, you know, you're eating and they accidentally fold on you, and they're weak. No, please no. Just, you know, change that. And, you know, that's part of the reason I'm not crazy about this kit, is that the fact that, you know, most of it is junk. I love the pot though. The pot is amazing. So I do use this by itself most of the time. This guy, I don't even know why it's not in the garbage yet. Honestly, one of the big things about this plastic stuff is that if you're cooking anything that's got like garlic or onions or anything with strong flavor in it or whatever, it stays in the plastic. No matter how much you wash it, your next morning's coffee tastes like last night's garlic dinner. And no, just no. Sorry. What's next? So from there, and one of the things I did early on is I started using a kettle, a small kettle, GSI again, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. This is pretty handy. It's pretty good. You can do a lot of stuff with this. Fairly light. The handle is metal, but this is plastic. So I've had issues with it melting a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. No, I don't think you can see that. It's okay for a kettle, but it's kind of has limited use. You could make a soup in there, I guess, or rehydrate some food in there maybe, but it's not, I don't know, it's not super useful. So I then went on to buy this kit, and this I like. This is one of the kits that I feel are worthy of light and weight and usefulness and everything. Now that said, as I was preparing to do this video, I realized that I'm missing, it's a nesting cup system, and I'm missing a cup that's in here. So I don't know where it went. I gotta go find it because it's important. Usually my stuff is really organized, but for some reason it's gone, so I can't show it to you. But really, realistically, what it is a bale-driven pot that's 750 ml, and it's got the folding handles, and you know, pretty straightforward. Titanium, extremely light. It's got the markings for measurements. Very useful. I love it. But I have one problem with it, and it's only one problem. Everything else is awesome about this kit. The problem is that for me, I'm 6'4", 290, 300 pounds, and this does not make a meal for me. It's too small. Oops. It's too small. I can't make the size of meal that I really would like to have. So for that simple reason, I've started looking for other options. So Let's see, where am I? So I stepped it up a bit, and I picked up this pot set. Sorry, this is making a lot of noise probably. So, you know, as I mentioned, several of our previous pots have bails. A lot of people use these and love them. You just, you know, have a tripod or something and you hang over the fire, and it, you know, I don't use the bail much. You know, I'd prefer to just put the pot right on the fire, to be honest, right in the coals. So bail is not important to me. Good handles are. So this is a little bit close for you when you're reaching into your fire. It's easy to get your, you know, hand hair burned off. so I don't, you know, I guess that's the second reason why I'm not crazy about that. So I went ahead and looked at a different product. And this product is a 1.8 liter pot, so it's pretty big. Gives me a lot of flexibility from that point of view. It's got the handles that come out, and they are sturdy handles, meaning, you know, they don't bounce all over the place. They don't swing or anything. They stay in place where you need them. And it's got a good lid, but the lid also serves as a pan. So you flip out your handle and now you've got a pan. But more than a pan, you actually end up with a dish. If you're making some fish or something where you need to cut, you know, a steak or something like that, you can just pop it in the pan, and that's your plate that you eat out of. So I find that's a better solution for me. It acts as a good lid, either way, upside down or not. And the handles are far enough out that you can, you know, avoid burning yourself on the fire. So this is my new shiny. This is what, you know, I'm using. The reason that I couldn't find the cup for this guy is I actually used the cup from that guy. So this is 750 ml. The cup that comes with it is very similar without the bail but with the handles, and that is 450, and that's a good cup. And so I usually pack it in here with this, and I mix the two kits basically. So this is what I love right now. This is what I'll use most of the time. I can load this up with all kinds of things. I can put my stove in here. I got even my stick stove lays flat in the bottom. It's a we'll get into that in one of the other episodes. But it's a Firebox Nano, and that fits right along the bottom. Or I have a MSR Pocket Rocket that I use as well. And I pack up all kinds of different stuff in there, including the cup, including, you know, some of the utensils or cleaning stuff. So that's the golden ticket. Now, if I'm going to be doing fishing, a significant amount of fishing, then I'm going to step it up and I'll bring this as well. This is a large MSR no stick pan. I love this thing. It's a little big. I tend to trip a lot with kayaks, and so stuff has to fit into the hold in the kayak, and this often just makes it. So I only bring this if I know it's going to be a fishing kind of expedition. But it's awesome, no stick, easy to clean, love it. Absolutely love it. What else? I could talk about this, but I think you guys know what this is for, so I'll just leave it at that. I also bring this guy. This is a small coffee filter. Again, picked up on Amazon. Put your coffee in there. It's a drip through kind of thing. You just hang it on the edge of your, you just take your cup and you just hang it on the edge there. Coffee in there, pour your boiling water in there, and you got some primo coffee, as good as the quality that you bring, I guess. But very light, easy, just pack up and nests within different systems, so that's not a problem. What else we got here? This is something that I bring. It's I sometimes bring. I don't always bring this. I should, but I sometimes forget it. Basically, it's a grill set. A lot of the places that I go to tend to be Crown Land, and often, not always, but often, there's a fire pit there, and there's 4 or 5 old grills there that I can use. But I like having this mainly because it comes with 2 grills. One that is, let's just to give you a point of reference, it's big enough to put a pot on, the bigger pot, and the other one, and it comes with a second one, which is absolutely tiny. This is stainless steel, so it's not super light, but I would use this with, this pot, for example, that, you could put between 2 logs, 2 pieces of log, with a little fire underneath it, and then just this, and that would be good enough. So it's also useful for, I'll talk a little bit more about that when I get to my stove section, but I have one of those BioLite stoves, and the BioLite stove, one of the problems with it, it's a fantastic stove, I love it, and I know a lot of people don't, but I do. But one of the things that is really kind of a bummer with it is that the size of the opening on the stove is quite large, so small pots don't fit well on it. But if I bring this, I just drop this on top, and I can put any size pot on it that I want, so that's very useful as well. And talking about BioLite, I had to include this even though we're going to talk about the stove itself later. So the other thing that I also have is this BioLite kettle pot. It's big. It's a big beast. It's a little bit bigger than that guy. Comes with a top, which is a good seal. It allows you to feed your BioLite through those holes, little sticks and stuff like that, or you can just take it off easily and add bigger sticks. It's got a sealed silicone lid, and it comes with a, oops, I forgot about that. Comes with another one of these plastic suckers, which I don't like, so I probably don't use that much. But the beauty of this thing is that if you like the BioLite scenario, one of the things that's really nice about this is that the whole system nests together. So you can actually pack up the BioLite stove the way it's meant to be packed up, slide it right inside here, close it all up with this on top, and the bag that it comes with, and it's just one piece. It's heavy. I would never backpack with this, but canoe, depending on how much portaging, I'd definitely consider it. We'll talk about that a little bit more in the stove section. So that's it. I mean, ultimately, I just kind of went through all of my gear for as far as cook sets are concerned. This is the magic for me. This with the smaller cup of this set, and this nice KFS kit, titanium KFS, and that's usually enough, more than enough for me. Anyways, if you have any thoughts about any of this stuff, I know we'll get into the stoves on another episode. But if you have any thoughts about any of this, or ideas, or anything that you can enlighten me on, by all means, put it in the comments below, and I'll respond. And I'm enjoying this series. I've got a lot to do. I've got a lot of gear. I tend to buy a lot of gear. I have a bad habit. Amazon is terrible. But ultimately, I'm just keep searching for that perfect thing for me that works well for me. So, thanks for watching, guys. Peace.